We're on another F1 2017, the game. Turbo Concept here. This is the Spanish Grand Prix, so we have to choose some cars and drive all around of the track. And the layout was pretty unfinished, and this is not unfinished at all, so it's perfectly fine. So we're gonna be choosing some F1 cars. So it look like this for the F1 2017 regulations. Look like this, and it's probably so good that it looks so awesome. So, but we're in 2017, so this is 2017 modeled F1 cars. So, if we're gonna be choosing Ferrari or Mercedes, Renault, McLaren, and Williams, I'm not going to be choosing some kind of cars, some sort like that, and we're gonna be starting to use a McLaren for this one, and let's use the McLaren, the MCL 22. I mean, it must be MCL 32. So it looks like we're gonna be driving with this car for the first time, and the top speed of the F1 car was 253 kilometers an hour, and the top speed was the currency. It was absolutely 270. In this game of the F1 2017, if you're gonna be seeing on the onboard view, you might get trouble while the F1 car looks like disappearing or something like this. And let's find out with this car. So I have enough talking with this one, so I make sure I'm going to look closer so you can do an onboard view. And looks like we're gonna be doing this right now, and it will be much fun, and nothing as well that I'm going to be using this F1 car, so I'm not going to cut myself out of here if I'm going for P1 at this circuit. So let's do the onboard view and see what it is. And looks like I'm going to get closer to the F1 driver, so I'm going to head and jump start. So if I'm going to look out there, so you cannot say start to start the race, or even this is required for the traffical, and this is gonna be much more not intense. So let's do a lap time with this McLaren MCL 32, shall we? And here we go. So let's start our first lap session. So we're starting here in the long straight, so the top speed is 253 kilometers an hour, so I'm not going to get things slow down here. And in front of the first turn, I almost invalid the color and invalid the lap times as well, so I went too wide out of here. And we just gotta make sure to slow down and drifting this car for one lap. And looks like I need to make itself out of here and down to the corner right there, and it's gonna be much nothing, and this is gonna be nothing at all, and it's going to uphill and right on to this corner. So I went to ride on the corners that almost been there, so there must be the ridiculous corner right over there, so don't be ridiculous at this corner. So this must be a big complaint or something, and I just spin out until the final corners. And there was one corner over the straight there. How many turns are ready? So we got a chicane for the F1 2020. Oh no, I just almost flipped it out at this moment. So we just completed lap number 1 and no fails whatsoever. So let's move out to the exterior, and I'm going to put the mouse down. So we're on the second lap and we're at the chase cam, and let's start to make things slow it out. And you can always see the front view, and you can see inside the onboard view as the F1 car goes. And looks like this F1 car needs for a not stressful rest, and looks like we're still on our way to finish the lap times by itself. So this F1 car just looked like amazing, and it's very wide tires and wide tires as well. And this is gonna be very good as Ferrari did, and the 2017 regulations must be look like this. And because some reasons, and it's officially going to be good for everything. And this must be the most popular things when 2018 must be go viral when the shorter track and narrow tracks is over right now. And the second lap will be finished right in this moment. So looks like this F1 car is about to get extinct, and we're about to finish one and I'm officially not in first place, but I did not going to do a second position, so the lap times won't count anyways. I put back the F1 cars, so let's do the Renault. And before Mercedes and Ferrari, but make sure I really can't, so I wanted to drive like the Renault cars. I'm not doing the outlaps, so just not I'm gonna do for 3 laps, so I'm going to do just 1 lap at a time, so no lap times, no corner cuts as well, so everything should be unsafe for just well, so I'm just going on reverse. So going on reverse, which is another thing, so that must be the Renault RS17, which is, I really know what to think, so Forza Motorsport 7, so this car wasn't actually based on Forza 7, and it absolutely has Forza Motorsport 7 that I'm going to be using one of the Forza 6 or Forza 7, so this is only just a Forza 7 car for something, and we're gonna be finding out for 1 lap with this car. So the top speed was the McLaren Honda Formula 1 top speed was absolutely 253 kilometers an hour, that the Renault was speeding for 260 kilometers an hour. So let's continue with this one, and we'll be careful around for this track, so I'm not going to have a penalty or something. And looks like we're going for a harder corner, so I'm going to do and be careful. I'm not traveling too fast as well. And there is one tricky corner that I'm going to do right here in Gran Turismo Sport. And looks like I'm not seeing like this anyway on the Assetto Corsa. But this Renault was not worth it as well, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be continue right there, so there must be one at least. I'm not very good doing this as well, so I need to slow down. There must be the confusing corner, like the complaining corner right there, and I almost spin out on this track. And one thing that I have to say, there's nothing that I can tell you. And there is one more chicane, and I make sure I'm going to be careful around there. And we almost just completely cut the corner, and we just have a 2 seconds penalty. And we're finishing this right now, at least. I'm going to be trying the Mercedes. So, do you know this Mercedes was it? And you know this car from this one? So, actually did not see this. The 2017 model race cars for the Formula 1 for 2017 was absolutely copying like the Red Bull, or even some things just kind of the race room. So, we're starting on the lap number 1 or something. And they sound like V10s and burning up rubber and everything that it goes that is breaking the law, and it was absolutely outlawed by the FIA. And I just pretty know much that the Mercedes does not based in Gran Turismo Sport, and I just going to be much pretty intense carefully, and I'm just going to stay right in front and safely to be. So you want to see an onboard view, so you cannot see an onboard view as well, so have a take a look inside of this vehicle until the long straight comes. So you can see that, try it out, and you can see that the Lewis Hamilton mode. So you can using as the Smith mode or just even Lewis Hamilton. And it smashed it right into the records that the Mercedes was even absolutely a winner for just a since in 2014. And that the hybrid era is going on, and I just completely cut that corner, so even I just threw myself with even things, and I just screw on the final corner. The top speed of the Mercedes was 270 kilometers an hour, faster than the Renault, just 260 kilometers an hour. So let's get back into the pits and change some cars. So I just speed around in the pits, and I just screw every time. So every time, if you're going for an onboard view, you might get in trouble forever. But not last and least, we're going to be using a Ferrari 2017. So this car was absolutely called an Ferrari SF70H. So the previous car model that I drive in, the Mercedes, known as the Ferrari, or just even just Mercedes for the FW08. It was the Mercedes W08, like the silver arrows, that I wanted to driven this car. So the fastest was the Mercedes as well. So I need to finish some laps to go. So I am a little bit caught in and just maybe kind of worst. And let's go into Drew and let's blast it right there. So the top speed of the Ferrari Formula 1 car was 265. That means it was slower than the Mercedes, which means I'm going to lap right now, so it will be the fastest one, and the Ferrari will not win at this time, especially Mercedes and Renault or even McLaren as well. And looks like we're still turning for a couple more turns to go. And looks like there must be lots of hairpins and lots of things that I'm going to do so. Now I feel so dirty about my feet, but looks like I almost cut that corner and everything should be okay, and the long straight should be fine. The top speed is always eventually like that, so I'm not going to do this corner, so it was just a big complaint. And looks like we got some final corners to do, and we got some final chicane ahead of us, and looks like the last couple of corners will be at this one. So I don't want to drift everything that I can do, so I just finished a lap with a Ferrari. That's a very good test with those. And unfortunately, let's get back right into the pits right now. So I'm pretty feel something like a better issues or something. Well, that's it for today's video, and I hope you enjoy. So if you like for today's game, so make sure this game link is in description below. You can choose any teams you want, such as the Ferrari SF70H, the Mercedes W08, the RS17, and the MCL32 as well. So you guys, you want to leave a like on this game, so I absolutely give a good review. So I just have completely a good test and I qualify in P1 as well. So thank you so much for watching and for all your support. So I'm not going over the podium as well because I cannot able to reach that. So which will be Turbo Concept will be signing off, and I'll talk to you guys all later that I'm going to be see you in the next hour.